Tariq. Usually when you usually see me in front of the game, right? I'm usually playing my games. That's what Twitch is mainly about, right? Getting on and playing games. But I thought I'd come on here and, relax with you guys, say what's up, what's going on. So, just wanted to introduce myself. My name's Tariq Muhammad, of course. Muhammad means worthy of praise for everybody that do know Muhammad. But yeah, usually when you see me, you usually see me playing my video games. My favorite video game right now, but I'm thinking about shifting a little bit, has been, Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed has been a really good game to play over the time. But it's getting some drawback. I mean, I do like the whole feeling of the game, but the thing is, I think I want to kind of explore more options when it comes to video games, and just explore more. So like go into different things when it comes to video games, because my I think I have been limiting myself when it comes to video games. But yeah, I would love to get in and play more. Let me know in the comments, or just let me know now, what is your favorite video game, and what video game should I try this year. This year, I know we in the middle of 2025, but just let me know what game you playing. What game is the best? I do love fighting games too. I love fighting games, boy. I'm fighting games, but for some reason, I find it a little bit difficult, because like some people be playing these fighting games and they be like da 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 da, da. And I'm like, bro, how do you even do that? So yeah, I mean, one of the games that I grew up on Tekken and Soul Calibers. Those are my two games. But just coming in, really introducing myself. Like I said, thank you for joining my one view that I'm in. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. So what was I about to say? Oh yeah, my name is Tariq Muhammad. For those who don't know, I grew up. I was born in Hartford, Connecticut. Uh, was around there about 8 years or so. 8 years living in Hartford, Connecticut. Was a good route. The only reason why I know is because this would never leave me. I remember walking in the apartment that we lived in, and I was 7 years old. I, you ask me, how do you remember that far back? Well, I can remember far, man. Just some little small details, not everything, but just little small details. Where it's like um, you just remember like certain stuff. So, or just little kind of stuff. But yeah, um, I had that. This is not my first time streaming on Twitch, because I used to stream back then, but I didn't really get the concept too much, and I thought, I used to do my games on Twitch and do everything that on Twitch and everything. But I was like, let me like kind of do it more. So, I'm in it more now. So right now we got the 8 followers. I appreciate you guys, and I want to grow this channel, and we definitely gonna grow this channel. This is the beginning to a brand new dawn, to a brand new day. So yeah, let me know. Let me know about you. Where are you from? What are your hobbies? Oh yeah, the thing about me, like, what are your hobbies outside of video games? I do actually have more hobbies that I enjoy doing. Of course, I enjoy exercising. When I was younger, when I was in school, I ran track. I did run track. For all that didn't know, I ran track. I wouldn't say I was really good at it. Well, man, I was fast. but I was just fast. So and I used to run track. I used to run the 200 miles. Didn't really win any races, even though I tried. I tried my hardest. I ran like the 200, but they had me scattered everywhere though, because actually what they did was what my coach did in eighth grade. For some reason, he had me everywhere. He kind of had me everywhere though. He had me running long distance, so I would practice running around the school for some time, and I would practice. But I ran the 200, and that's the only thing I really ran. And I think I did something in high school, but I can't remember too much. I don't think they let me run in high school because I really don't really remember running in high school. I do remember going out for track in high school, but I don't really think I did anything in high school. I don't think any I ran anything in high school. Man, track is boy, it's hard, man. I mean, it's not that hard. I mean, all you doing is running. It's called track and field. So all you really doing is running and doing the field events like jumping and all that stuff. But the only reason why I don't think that they allowed me to they didn't really want to put too much hard pressure on me um, when it came to that because me growing up it was a little bit difficult for me. I actually ended up, when I was younger, when I was a baby, I barely made 3 years old. Barely was 3 years old. Um, I got hit by a car. So, and that really caused a very devastating blow in my, in my life, because it was life changing. It was very life changing. I mean, you're only 2 years old, so it's not a huge life changing. Well, I mean, it is life changing because I'm still going through it now a little bit that I know. Um, and I have a condition. You can't really tell. Well, I mean, I can't really tell. I don't let it define me, of course. It's called TMI, traumatic brain injury. That's what they said that I had, because they said that my brain was swelling. They said that my brain was swelling, and that's the only details to it. So that's one of the things that I actually suffered with growing up. I had an IEP. They said that I would learn slower than anybody else. But man, I mean, shoot, that's my life story. I guess I gave you my life story in a nutshell. But it is what it is. But I thank God. I thank God for the life that I have now, and I thank God for the life that I'm just living. I thank God for life, cause not a lot of not a lot of young children make it out of that. You know, just being hit by a car, being in a devastating accident, and just end up making it. It's a rare occasion. It's a rare occasion. I don't know too many people who have been hit by a car at the age of 2. I do remember this though. When I was like in eighth grade, when I was in eighth grade, I do remember seeing a accident on the news. They said a boy that was 3 years old got hit by a car, and they said he was in a hospital. And I think that he was recovering, but this was like a long time ago, and I heard it briefly on the news. And I think I was in like, I was either in seventh or eighth grade, and they said that a young boy got hit by a car, and I pray that he made it. Actually, um, I pray that he made it. But yeah, that's the last time I actually heard about it. But man, getting traumatic brain injury, it's no joke. You know, it kind of impairs your whole life. I was in a wheelchair. I had tubes up my nose. I had to learn everything all over again. At 3 years old, I had to learn how to walk again. I think I had to learn how to talk again too. I believe I probably had to learn how to talk again. I gotta ask my mom, because my mom did tell me that I did have to learn a lot of stuff over again. Like I was starting over in life, and people come up to me sometimes. People would just come up to me, and they'd be like, "Man, it's such a blessing." I remember the captain, Brother Keith. His name was Keith, Brother Keith. And for all y'all that don't know, you know, I myself, a brother, I'm just gonna let that slide. Well, a brother, right? His name was Brother Keith. He was like, okay, it's a blessing that you're here, because they actually told you that your brain was swelling. Your your whole brain, like imagine somebody's brain is just swelling and coming out of their head. And I guess the swelling went down. Dude, I can't, I don't even, oh my gosh. So yeah, I'm just coming on here. Coming live, with this you can actually, but I also wanted to come on here and also, pay tribute. I have to. I have to come on here and I have to pay tribute to my friend. And bro, I'm about to like really tear up just talking about it. Cause every day for like a week straight, I have been thinking about uh, Malcolm Jamal Warner, and I didn't want to make it real, but it's been a whole week. It's been a whole week since our brother Malcolm Jamal Warner passed away. From a tragic dra- drowning drowning accident, where the current actually pulled him away from shore. And that is like, it's very tragic and very sad. Actually, a month before, or like sometime before, like telling you, a month before, I think it was 2 months before, all I would do was watch the Cosby Show. I would watch the Cosby Show, and I would just watch it. And so I would just watch it. And so like I wasn't around when the Cosby Show was actually around, because the Cosby Show I think started in '82 and it ended in '89, I believe. And people who was around that time was, the people who, actually, I I didn't get to the show until about 8 years old, because I was born in '93. I was born in '93, and and the show probably ended by the time I was born, but they will always play the reruns. Like they will always play it. It wasn't something that I was watching continuously, but every now and then I would watch it. And so, yes, I just wanted to pay my tributes to Malcolm Jamal Warner. He was a great inspiration for all of us. He was like the true, like just thinking about him and his personality and just the way he portrayed himself. It was like he's the shining example of what every man should really portray themselves as. You know, on film, he wasn't too goofy to the point where he was like, you know how you have like these people that's online and or these black characters that's online that have like that have that have a goofy presence to the point where they're trying too hard to be funny and to be an actor that's on film. The thing about Malcolm Jamal Warner is even watching the Cosby Show, it's like even though it was a sitcom, it was a black family sitcom. It's like with him on that show, he wasn't acting so goofy to the point that he was trying to be funny or he was like, just trying to get laughs. Like it was natural in the way that he acted and portrayed himself as a young actor and as a young actor. So it was so it was just so like he was just a tremendous actor, especially on the Cosby Show. And I love that show to this day now. It's like even though it was an old show, it's probably one of the only shows that will ever stand against time and will never get old and will always be in the hearts of black people and all people of color who really like that show, because what it did was it showed it was a great shining example of what the black family could look like. It showed an example of what black excellence looked like. That show was just outstanding, and it was like I would say that show was perfect in every way. Like, oh my gosh, and when I'm looking at the show, like I didn't know that there was so many people that really got they start on that show. Like you have like one of the people that I start to realize when I started to watch the show, you have like, okay, so um man, I wish I just could get their names. I wish I could just give you their names. Um and just please remind me about their names. But you have well, I know Adam Sandler. I didn't even know Adam Sandler was even on that show until recently. Like when I started looking at the show and started watching it, I was like, that's Adam Sandler. So Adam Sandler got his start on that show. Um, you have Cockroach, which was Tommy from Martin. Tommy from Martin, he got his start on that show. But also, I didn't know that um dang, what's her name? The lady that played on Martin and Everybody Hates Chris. Man, Look, if you are watching this, I know your name. Oh my, it's not coming to me right now. It's just not coming to me right now. So I know, like, man, what is her name? Somebody remind me of her name. Like I know her name. And the mother from Everybody Hates Chris and Martin. It's not Tisha Campbell. Or is it Tisha Campbell? No. Tisha Campbell was Martin's wife. Um, well, anyway, but they was both on the show. Tommy and and the lady and that lady off of Martin. They both got their start. They both got their start from the show, which was amazing. A lot of people actually got their start from the show. You got that lady that played the Urkel wife, that played Urkel's girlfriend, who she actually died when she was 30. She died when she was 30. Um, I don't. I'm sorry, I'm bad with names, but I know the characters. But I think she was on that show before Urkel show. But I believe that Jamal, Malcolm Jamal Warner, was her girlfriend during that time, and she had a rare condition. She had a rare condition that she actually ended up passing away from, which is actually very sad, unfortunately. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and pay my tribute to Malcolm Jamal Warner after a week. After a week, I wanted to make sure that I usually give it. Well, I don't want to go into that right now, but yeah. So give it about a week or so before everybody, start. I'm still thinking about him. Like, to be honest, now all I want to do is watch the Cosby Show and watch all the shows that he was on. Like, to be honest, I am so like, I feel, for some reason I feel bad now. I mean, I don't feel super bad, but I do kind of feel like, a little bit sad and heartbroken that I really didn't get a chance to actually experience him fully while he was here. Because those other shows that he was actually played on, I didn't even know about. I didn't know about those shows until, after he died. I didn't know about these shows that he was on. Like, the only show that I really knew about was the Cosby Show. And then I started to watch this other show called Suits. I started to watch Suits, but I never got a chance to finish it. But I didn't get to when he came in, when Malcolm Jamal Warner came in. And so, man, Malcolm Jamal Warner, in Nation of Islam, we don't teach. We teach. This is what we teach. Somebody who has passed away or somebody who has died, we never speak of them as dead. They are alive, but we perceive not. Especially if they strive in the way of Allah. And even though, well, I don't know his background, and we don't know everything about Malcolm Jamal Warner or his belief system. So I'm not just gonna go ahead and sit here and say, okay, Malcolm Jamal Warner was, he was a black man, he was a, because we are Muslim, and we are born Muslim, and that's our teachings, everything, because being a Muslim, that's a whole nother lesson we gotta go into later on. Well, I tell you probably a little bit later about being a Muslim and what a Muslim is. But Malcolm Jamal Warner, bro, he was a straight, bro. He was a straight Muslim. I'm just gonna say that. Man, Malcolm Jamal Warner, bro, like, oh my gosh, bro. I think about him. It's been a week, and I still think about him every single day, every day. Man, he's gonna live forever. He's definitely gonna live forever. Like he's a true icon. Malcolm Jamal Warner is a definitely definitely a true icon. Like, bro, he's like, man, and just before he like actually passed away, I was actually watching a episode of The Fresh Prince, and I didn't even know he was even on that show. I think he should have went like they should have brought him on more shows. But here's the cool thing about this. Here's the cool thing about the way that his acting career. I don't think nobody else has ever had an acting career like Malcolm Jamal Warner had. Cause check this out. He started his acting career at like 13. He started acting at 13, right? And the thing about he portrayed and played in a house that exudes black excellence and that had black excellence everywhere. And so his mother was a lawyer and his father was a doctor. This man is an icon, man, for real. Like, and then the parts he played, I'm telling you, the parts that he played in shows, like, like, well, I didn't see. I know he played a father on one of these shows. That's why I gotta watch these shows, man. I gotta watch these shows. I know he played a father on one show, which I had no idea about. Like, I'm sorry that I missed it. Like, I'm about to go back and look at every single. Matter of fact, I might just, if I can, just get the digital copy of every show that he's ever been on and just store it in like a library or something. But like every show, he played a father on one show. I seen a little clip that he played a father. So he played a son. Then he went on to playing a father. But then he goes on to play the role of, well, he played a father first. No, first he played the son. He played the son, right? And then he plays the role of, I believe, a lawyer or a student that is going to school to become a lawyer. Which in the Cosby Show, his mom was a lawyer. And then there was this one episode. Where it was like Bill Cosby and and and, and his wife was actually discussing what he was gonna be. They was like, no, he's gonna be a lawyer. No, he's gonna be a doctor. No, he's gonna be a lawyer. So there was one episode of Bill Cosby where he actually went into that. And so that was actually, a little bit profound. I was like, man. And so on his next show, in the next appearance that he had, well, I'm not 100% sure if this was his next appearance, but this was the next time I seen him. He was on The Fresh Prince of Bel Air, and he was dating Hillary off of The Fresh Prince, and he was dating her, and so he went on to that show to become a student in law school. So he was a student in law school, and so he was playing like just being a student, right? And so he, you know, um, Philip, he ended up suing Philip Banks because Will Smith actually backed up into his car, and Will Smith was still a minor. Will Smith was still a minor. But those are Will Smith was actually still a minor, so he actually sued him because he ended up breaking his car. So, but then it was like a little test for him to be in law school. So he decides to sue Philip Banks. That 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 court session when he sued Philip Banks was so quick and it ended so fast because Philip Banks is a judge as well. So he's suing Philip Banks, who's a judge and who has been through the law school and the law firm for so much through his career, and you're gonna sue him. And so Philip Banks, y'all don't know if y'all seen this episode, ended up ending it in like 2 seconds. He said you'll make an excellent lawyer someday, which his mother was ended up being a lawyer. His mother ended up being a lawyer in the Cosby Show. But the Cosby Show is so iconic. I'll never forget about the Cosby Show. The Cosby Show. And so he actually went on to all these other shows, and he played a father. But then later on, he was in the show Accused too, which I never even seen. Which now I'm definitely gonna watch it. Like when I get a chance, I'm gonna watch all the shows that he was ever in, and have them in my library. But this one, like this one is it cuts deep. This one is deep. This loss is deep. Like I know we lost a lot of icons over the years and over the years and over this in these past 5 years. But this one cuts deeper than ever before. And man, Malcolm Jamal Warner, you live on. He's gonna live on through his work, through everything that he has actually been in. People have been saying that he deserves a star on Hollywood, but he's already earned his star. I'm pretty sure everybody he's already earned his star. He doesn't need Hollywood to recognize him because his star is already with all of us. He's already earned a star in our life because he's the most iconic. He was the most iconic actor in history, like hands down. And like his life was just so private. Like he met his wife, and he made sure that he kept his wife and his daughter life private. And that's the best. Like you don't want your family to be famous or get a lot of attention just because you famous. I mean, being a celebrity and being known for a lot of things is great. It's great and all. It's wonderful to be known for a lot of different things. But if you can keep yourself out the spotlight, that's a beautiful life too. That's a beautiful life. I mean, a lot of people will be like, "Oh man, I want the fame and the fortune, and I want to be known by everybody." But at the end of the day, it's good just to not be known. Just to be quiet and not to have a life that everybody knows about. Because if you're famous and everybody knows you, then what is your life even good for? I mean, unless you're doing something that that is impactful and that it's going to impact the world, then that's a good it's good to be famous, and it's good to have a lot of followers, and do A, B, C, and D to be known, but at the end of the day, quiet life is a good life, but like I was saying, rest in peace to Malcolm Jamal Warner. um, a lot of people say that, we can't let a day go by. Don't let a day go by without, telling those that you're close to that you love them and that you appreciate them. Because what I'm learning now is like, we not every long life is not guaranteed for anybody. Like we live our life, and we are so proud of everything. Sometimes we take advantage of the small things and of the little things that we have. We take advantage of it, but never let a day go by where you don't talk to your loved ones or those that you love. If you got somebody that you love right now, give them a call. Reach out to those that really impact your life and are really impactful, because you never know what people are going through, and when the last time you actually going to see somebody. So hug your loved ones, and just appreciate everything that appreciate everybody that is in your life. Love them, cherish them. Life can get so busy and get so hectic. Everybody requires your attention. Everybody requires your expertise when it comes to certain things, and sometimes you're giving your attention to people who don't really even, who don't know you, who don't even really care about you too much. But you have to reach out and make sure that you're there for people who are, who you love or who you appreciate. Like, I need to do better too as an individual. Make sure I talk to my people, make sure I talk to my family. Sometimes I do reach out to my family, and they say, what's up, what you want? They say, what's up, what you want? And they don't really want to talk too much. I mean, not all of my family, but there's actually some in the majority of my family that actually, like when sometimes you talk to them, they hear you real quick and then they're gone. But we give the most time to people that we don't even know, and the people that don't even think about us or don't give a lick about what we got going on. They just like you because you're there and you're able to fill a role. But the people who you grew up with and the people that you was with when you was younger, these are the people that we really drift away from when we become adults. And when we become adults and we don't reach out to those who was actually had the most impact in our life. So, that's my thing that I had to say today. I had to give myself a week.